Hey, I'm Jim.
Hey, this is Corey, and today we're going to talk about Coyote V8 versus Ecoboost again.
And we also have a cool story coming out of the wildfires in California about a truck.
Sweet.
Here we go.
All right. We're back. Episode 1 here.
We're back for episode 1.
Yes. That means episode 0 is extra special. Okay. So if you remember, episode 0, we talked about trucks and EcoBoosts and V8s and how I don't like the EcoBoost because it's expensive and it's just not a good torquey V8. Although it is torquey, but there was an interesting test with so it's current F-150, but two-wheel drive base model, which is about 20 grand less than a loaded F-150, but with the
5-liter V8.
Yes, base model had the 5-liter. The loaded model had the EcoBoost. And I thought this clip was very interesting because it compared 0 to 60s of the two vehicles, and expectations were not met. So let me figure out how we can do this here. Share screen. And I'm going to have to move my mic, so hold on a minute. So this is a first here. We got a 0 to 60 of the EcoBoost.
Boosted, guys. Okay. There's 0. There it is.
Whoa. I think we're gonna hit this in about 8 and change.
Let's see
This truck is loaded. We got 5 guys.
Oh, nicely done.
Nicely done. Or something like that.
7.97.
Now that is freaking fast for a car,
Yeah.
but this is a loaded truck with very large men in it, and it did that. That is impressive. Once again, Ford mechanics, the things that are under the hood, make this an absolute drag. I mean, do you think it's a drag car? I think it's a drag car.
I mean, and again, you guys always point this out, we're at elevation too, right? So
Yeah.
you wouldn't expect that strong feeling, but that's the turbos, right? You get the turbos feeding the extra air.
Damn.
It felt great.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, and I can hear you. Okay, so yeah, a couple caveats. So, okay, they're loaded. 5 people. They're all
5
pretty
big dudes.
big people. They're
Yeah.
also Boulder, Denver area, so they're a mile above sea level. And so yeah, 0 to 60 of 797. So real close to 8. I think sea level 0 to 60s are, what are they? I didn't really look this up. They're usually 6-ish. Low 6, maybe the 5s, maybe high 5s.
For EcoBoost.
Yes.
Right.
So anyway, so what's the argument for the EcoBoost? It's more efficient. It's got a lot more power. Well, it's also more money, and more complex. And these guys, actually, I don't have it queued up, but they compared both of these trucks. So the base two-wheel drive 5-liter versus the EcoBoost. The combined mile per gallon, at least in the sticker, is 19. They're exactly the same for both. So to me, it's a strike against the EcoBoost. I think it has a little bit better city. So anyway, that was test 1. They also did now the test with the 5-liter, and so we'll watch that.
Okay.
And my other question is, how fast do you think it will be from 0 to 60?
Well, I think it's gonna be about a second slower than its this Coyote engine is phenomenal. I love the Coyote. It's one of the best V8s out there.
Sport mode? Sport mode, Andre?
Are you in sport?
Yes, I am. Here we go. Here it is. Yeah.
Hammer
We're
down.
off, guys.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel quite the torque off the line, but it's looking good.
It's building like
It's looking good. Oh!
Woo! Wait a minute. What was the other one?
797.
Well, that shut me up too.
Wait a
It didn't
minute, this
feel
is faster?
but
Yes.
it was.
Well, you know what it is? This is a lighter truck because
7.5.
it's not 4-wheel
So
drive.
this is about 700 pounds lighter. This
So
truck.
the 700 pounds we made up for and then some.
7.5 seconds. That's
All right. So and that is a 5-liter V8 that is sucking for oxygen up there at a mile high, and it's still pulling in not only the same but a better time.
Yes. I'm still sharing my screen, aren't I?
Yeah. That's definitely a knock.
To me, that's a huge knock because, you do that same test at sea level and you're tied to me. Or maybe the I don't know. It's very close.
Well, if you're at sea level, then the 5-liter
probably
is only gonna get faster.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously now the one big difference which they mentioned was you're talking about a 2-wheel drive versus 4-wheel drive. So you've got a huge weight savings there.
Yeah.
And both cars were, they were loaded down, but they were both loaded equally with people.
Right.
So that is definitely, that's a factor, but it's still not as much as you would think.
It's not a huge, right.
Especially when you're considering the disadvantages of the Ecoboost with both just initial costs, maintenance costs. I have a friend who has an Ecoboost and he loves it. It's torquey, it's powerful and all that stuff, but he's already had to replace the turbos and things like that, at higher mileage, but nonetheless, there's just more to it, more complexity, more problems, more money. So that makes it a tough call.
Yeah, to me, the Ecoboost
Especially
for the hype,
naturally aspirated V8s.
Yeah, for me, the Ecoboost for the hype needs to just trounce the Coyote, and it just doesn't. It's better stats on paper, and that's all I see. Again, you probably can. I'm sure you can feel the torque down low, in instances, but again, a little bit. The Coyote just performs well, and they've bumped it up. I mean, it's up. I think it's 390 or 400. I think it's 390, 405 horse and torque. I think it was lower a few years ago, and then of course the 10-speed. That's a big helper. Yeah. So they both have the 10-speed. But it's great, and so it's funny. So this F-150 base 2-wheel drive, I drove this for work at a business trip. My rental happened to be the F-150, but the exact same thing, and I can vouch that it was way quicker than I was expecting. It was impressive.
Yours was 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive?
It was 2. It was exactly what they're.
Okay, so it was 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And we looked it up in the 0 to 60 on that.
Yeah, it's like
5.9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's ridiculous for a full size truck.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
So, anyway.
All right. How about this? Speaking of trucks and taking it to a current event. Talking about the ridiculous and terrible wildfires in California. There's a automotive story or two that has come out and showing just what people are having to go through there and just how much some of these cars and one truck in particular has had to take to save some lives. Do you have it ready?
Do I have it ready? Well, since this is episode 1, the answer would be no.
Sure.
But
we'll get that.
Let's see here. Oh, see, it would help if I minimize Skype.
There
we go. Yes. So yeah, this Tundra, this was a nurse trying to help out, and yeah, close call. Apparently he I can't remember if he was trying to evacuate or help get back to people. I think he was trying to evacuate and get back to people, but he was stuck for a minute, and apparently a bulldozer kind of came out of nowhere and cleared the obstruction. I think there was another truck. If that didn't happen, he might not have made it out. But yeah, he was. Yeah, I mean, you can see the paint burning, holes in it.
That front bumper and around that light assembly was completely melted. I saw another picture. I don't know if you have it, but where you can really see it. The plastic's just totally drooping.
Yeah, and his side mirror melting all over the place. I don't know if this article has any more pictures. I don't think it does. But the cool thing, Toyota says they're going to replace it, offer him a brand new Tundra.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Cool from Toyota, and makes good sense because as this picture in this story went viral, talk about an unbelievable ad for Toyota. And it's just funny that the new Tundra is making a name for itself like the old Toyota, the Hilux, and all that stuff on Top Gear, where they just basically indestructible trucks.
Yeah.
That can do some amazing things.
You know what I thought was cool was that his tires look fine. Like, I mean, he could have.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know how
always
much
the thing.
heat can withstand the tires, but if the body panels are looking like that, obviously the tires are subjected to a ton of heat. So
Yeah.
he's lucky he didn't have a blowout or melt or whatever.
Yeah, can you tell what tires those are?
I think
The tread pattern looks like a
they're
BFG.
BFG all-terrains.
Yeah.
And is this a TRD Pro? I think.
It looks like it probably.
So I mean,
it's certainly got a lift on it and some bigger than stock wheels.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah. Pretty amazing stuff. And on that bombshell, we'll end episode 1.
That'll do it. Episode 2 next.
See you next time.